Hi, this is Mrs. Knopf, and today we are going to continue working in our new method book on the trombone with line 23, Jim Along Josie. So we're going to start at the very beginning of the line. It's only 4 measures long, but we have something new today. So we will come to that in just a moment. We always start with our clef. Trombone reads the bass clef. And then we have our key signature. So we have 2 flats in the key signature. We have a B flat, which is on the second line. This tells us that any B that we come across is a B flat. And then our second flat is an E flat on the third space. This tells us that any E that we might come along is played as an E flat. Now, looking at line 23, I don't have any E flats. However, it's still part of the key signature, which tells us our key. And with 2 flats in the key signature, we can probably say that we are in the key of B flat. Sometimes it'll be a minor key, but in this case it is a major key and it is B flat. So next we have our time signature. We are in 4/4 time. We have the top number, which tells us we have 4 beats in every measure. The bottom number tells us the value of the whole note. Since we don't have a whole note, we can still use this information to determine how long to hold everything else. So, and this is what's new today. So if we had that whole note at 4 beats, half of a whole is a half of 4 is 2. So we have a half note. In the very last measure, we give it 2 full beats. Now, half of a half is a quarter, half of 2 is 1. So those notes that are colored in, like in the first measure, we have 2 quarter notes, they get 1 beat each. But now we have something new. Half of a quarter is an eighth, and half of 1 is half. So in measure 1, 2, and 3, we have these 2 notes that are connected right here with a beam. This is a pair of eighth notes. And 2 eighth notes is the same as 1 quarter note. So we have a half of a beat on beat 3. This is your downbeat. The other half of the beat is on the upbeat. And so half plus half equals 1. So if we were to clap through this line, the rhythm for the first 3 measures is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I was counting the eighth note, I was subdividing. So even though I clapped one time for a quarter note, I still said and for the upbeat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So when we get to the last measure, our rhythm would go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we're holding on to that half note for 4 eighth notes. All right. So now let's look for other patterns. We start on a 4th line F, which is first position. We have 2 of those as quarter notes, and then we have 3 Ds. So we go out to 4th position, and we have 3 Ds, 2 eighth notes and a quarter. In the next measure, we have 2 quarter notes C, so we go out to 6th position. We come back into D, and we play 2 eighth note Ds. Then we move into first position for an F. Measure 3 is just like measure 1. 2 quarter note Fs, 2 eighth note Ds, and a quarter note D. And then finally, the last measure, we have 2 quarter note Cs in 6th position, and then we come all the way into a half note B flat. So let's try playing through line 23, Jim Along Josie. And 1 and 2 and ready. So that is line 23, Jim Along Josie on the trombone. That is our new rhythm with our eighth notes. 1, 2, 3, and 4. and we'll be applying our new rhythm in future songs. So I hope this is helpful, and we'll see you next time.